Life can be tough, a struggle each day to know where you fit inside this game of life. Just breathing is hard, moments feel like hours and you're like no one understands your pain. Constantly numb, the numbness guides your life, so you sleep the pain away. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay not to be okay. You don't need to hide what you feel inside, 'cause it's okay to not be okay. And see my outstretched arm, grasping for you to take a hold and climb out from the place that brings you down. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay not to be okay. You have more you can give with this life you live. It's okay to not be okay. You aren't here alone. I won't have the answers, and I can't give advice, but you are loved by many, and I won't leave your side. Just reach out for my hand with yours. Let me remind you what you have.
From the shadows, from the doubt, we stand up, we stand proud. Scarred and strong, we wear that crown. Villains with our hearts turned out. Ink on skin, stealing eyes. Beards like battle flags, we fly. Different flags, different tongues. Same fire burning in our lungs. Talking late with a brother overseas. Same dream, same scar, same needs. Changing one small street at a time. Heavy hands, open hearts, live aligned. This is the heart of a villain, where the outcasts turn to kings. Brotherhood, honor, and family, loyalty in everything. From the cold to the fire, a hero all along. This is the heart of a villain, where the outcast turn to kings. Brotherhood, honor, and family, loyalty in everything. From the dark to the dawn, we're driven to change the world we see. Yeah. The heart of a villain, where the broken learn they're
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the bearded villains worldwide brotherhood. Hey, everybody, tonight, I think we are broadcasting in two different platforms tonight, YouTube and over on Instagram. So that's going to be the future. I'm not quite sure. I think for some reason I'm broadcasting to the personal IG rather than the podcast IG tonight. But we're going to just roll with it and see how things go as the night continues. But hey, thank you so much to those of you who are joining us here live on a Saturday night, kind of out of sorts for the way things have been. But I've been tinkering with a few things, had a long work week, and for a variety of reasons, well, obviously I was out of town and really coming back into town, so unavailable to do the show on Thursday night. But typically speaking, we will be back on Thursday nights moving forward. On the off chance, as I say that, of course, next week is going to be one of those unique nights where we're going to be back again on Friday night due to work travels again on Thursday. But rest assured, we're back weekly from here on moving forward. We're back weekly, sharing all the cool things that our villain brothers and sisters out there in the world are doing as well. So we're just going to jump right in. We've got a few new sponsors coming in hot for us to help us out with this show in the coming days and weeks. I haven't been able to finalize and finish up some of the editing for some of them yet. As a matter of fact, I was trying to work on some of those right up until I hit go to get this show going this evening. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get one of them going. But the two of the ones that I don't have right now so far officially are, if you're familiar with a long-bearded gentleman down in Tennessee with an award-winning beard, and goes by the name of Beaudry, but he has a beard care company called Bose. And if you are familiar, if you've used his quality products, he's going to be jumping on board with us here as a sponsor with the show. And we'll have some ad reads and product promos and different things with him coming up in the next few days, few weeks. He's one of them that you're not going to be probably hearing officially from tonight as well. Also want to give a shout out to Bearded Death Oil, who's coming on board as well with us, in addition to the other organizations that you have already heard from or you know of. In addition to Ramsey, Mr. Dave Ramsey has a nice company that we are going to be showing a demo or an ad for here in just a little while as a sponsor as well. So we're getting some sponsorships going. We've got some companies, and as you know, I only want to help. I want to help out other companies. It's not about me making any kind of money for the sponsorships. I call it a sponsorship, but it's not really a sponsorship. It's more of a partnership, I think, is what we want to call it. Because by being partners with these organizations, with these businesses, like I said, I only try to work with the ones that I know do quality work or are in it for the right reasons. So that's why I've chosen to reach out to specific organizations. But if you do know of one that you think we need to be bringing on the program as a sponsor partnership member, then please let me know, reach out, and we will see what we can do, because I'm always on the lookout for that. I'm also still on the lookout, and I probably will be on the lookout for the foreseeable future, for a whiskey or bourbon sponsorship partnership. But I have to give a shout out because I just came across this bottle, and I don't know how long it's been around. But I just came across it last night. Somebody recommended it to me. I took a sample of it, and it's very, very, very yummy. So I, of course, want to give a shout out to it. If those of you that are bourbon connoisseurs are unfamiliar, this is from Coal Pick Distillery down in Kentucky. This is the toasted single barrel, and it is delicious. So that is what I'm going to be sipping on this evening while we do this show. All right. So what are we going to do tonight? Well, I first want to talk a little bit about an event that we went to this past weekend down in Nashville, which was DSV. And then we're going to hear from the captain of the Michigan Bearded Villains, Daryl, telling us a little bit about what they have been up to up in Michigan and some kind of hints towards the future. And it's also really fun during this interview that I recorded with him yesterday, hearing him talk about, the what's behind some of the motives, the desires that he wants to see and that they want to see up in Michigan with what they want to do moving forward. So hope you stick around for that interview that I had with him. But I have to give a shout out, first of all, to the 3-Star Villains, because, and any other one of the chapters that helped out in any way, shape, or form for that event. This was my first DSV I've been to in a few years, but it's also my first event of the year that I've been to of a large scale like that. And really, it's the first one that I was at since the East Coast meet last year, since I was over in Buffalo. So of course, not being around a big group of your bearded brothers for so long, it's been sorely needed. I think that sentiment was shared by not just me, but by many of us that were there down in Nashville this past week. And so it was such a great time. It really was. So big shout out to the guys down there, the 3-Star Villains. If I start naming names, man, I'm just gonna forget somebody. But all of you guys in the chapter, and then any of the surrounding chapters that were also possibly a part of helping out in any way, shape, or form for that event, it went off great. And I will say, when we first got to the event site on Saturday, I was a little concerned for the space, because it looked from the outside that the Rusty Nail was not going to be able to hold us all. And I was thinking, well, this is going to go one of two ways. And I was a little worried because it might be a little bit cramped. And I will say, you get in the door there, and at first it seems like it was a little bit cramped, but that was just because everybody's hanging out in that front bar room, where the beard competition was getting ready to go off and everything else. But once you realized how much space you had there, it was a great choice of an event site location. Those guys did a great job prepping that. And the staff there at the Rusty Nail did a great job, I think, handling our chaotic asses, I guess we could call it that. All the stuff that we did, it was in the way that we acted. We acted like gentlemen, of course, but they, suffice to say, they've probably seen some things there before, and I'm sure we got to add to that. we got to add to that. But it was a great space, because I think so often when we go to these events, when you have a beard competition, you're just kind of stuck there, and you're there in the room with the beard competition, and and some people just are beard competitions. You're over it, but you still want to be there with your brothers, and so you go, right? But this event space was so well organized for us for what we want to do, because it still afforded us opportunities to share in our time together, that brotherhood, in a side area off to the side or out in the back, the outdoor area. Beautiful day, and it was a great time for us to be able, if you wanted to go in and watch the beard competition, be a part of that, you could. If you wanted to go check in on things periodically, you could. If you wanted to hang outside, have a cigar, whatever it was you wanted to do, you had space for that. So it was so well done. And I know that there's probably some things that 3-Star Villains are like, well, wish we could have, but you know what? We always have those. You have those every event. So a big shout out to those guys, man. Absolutely great time, great weekend, and a great job for you guys. Now, have to, of course, give a shout out to some of those that are here with us live. I haven't figured out quite how to bring any comments over from the Instagram onto the show, but I know that for those of you that are here with us live on YouTube, man, I know I can get some of those comments in here if I want to, but Of course, Mr. Ed Sander says, DSV was great. Tennessee hosted a badass event. Yes, indeed, indeed. Mr. Ramsey would just talk about you. Hey, he says, he giving me props for my beard coming back in slowly but surely. That's right. It's coming in. It's coming back. And yes, sir, Dave, it was great to see you again, too, as well. I can see right now that some of the comments, I'm going to have to shrink them for the IG. Let's see if I can do that while we're live on the show here and see if I can make this work so that they, hey, look at that. I just did it. So now they're hopefully the comments that I'm bringing up on the screen are small enough that we can hide them if we need to. But give some shout outs to some of our people that are here with us today. Veteran to Valhalla is hanging out with us with the party people. Yes, indeed. Good to see you here as well. But yes, thank you guys so much. And thank you to those of you that chimed in about an hour ago before we started when I went live, kind of surprisingly, just to test out some features that I was messing around with to see if I could get things to broadcast the way I wanted them to. So absolutely. And because of that, Buddy says, hey, Buddy, how you doing? Buddy says, I'm watching both. He was watching both broadcasts. So good for you. I appreciate that. And he says, hope everyone is having a great day. Yes, Buddy's hanging out with us as well. And of course, one of our bros we're going to be hearing from in just a little bit, Daryl, hanging out, says, good evening, everyone. Good evening indeed. Good evening indeed. All right, guys. So I just want to say, like I said, it was an awesome event last week. Kudos to you guys down in Tennessee. I look forward to coming back down and hanging out with you guys again. And I guess we're going to call it Nash Vegas. I'm not sure which one it's going to be next week or next year, but we'll be back down about the same approximate time, coming back down, and that's always a good time as well. Hey, how are we doing, good sir? One of our newest guys coming in hot tonight says, evening, BP. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. So where can we go from here, boys and girls? Well, as I said before, I kind of want to jump off with some of our when we get down to our interviews and our different things that we're going to do with the show as we move forward. We're not going to be doing the super long form interviews with the, when we're talking to people for 35, 40 minutes and things like that. But I did want to give a chance. My interview was awesome with that we're going to play in just a couple minutes here with Daryl, and got some great information. I already knew some of the stuff, of course, because we like to hang out with our Michigan brothers up north. But I think you all are going to be really enjoy this interview as we hear from Daryl coming up in just a second. I will say, before we do that, though, I want to give a shout out and show off our first new sponsor partnership, and that is from Mr. Dave Ramsey coming aboard with his company. Let's see a little bit about what this is. If you were down at DSV this past week, you got to see those awesome trophies that he was responsible for. So let's check it out. Are you looking for something unique? Ramsey Customs specializes in custom 3D printed NFC keychains, LED light boxes, and awards that bring your ideas to life. Perfect for businesses, competitions, gifts, gaming setups, decor, and much more. Do you have an idea? Ramsey Customs can design it for you. Ramsey Customs offers free mock-ups and quotes before you order. Whether it's for your brand, a gift, or something cool for yourself, Ramsey Customs can make it happen. Ramsey Customs, lighting up ideas and printing possibilities with custom pieces that connect and shine. And that's Ramsey Customs. Hey, love it. Thanks for coming aboard, Dave. Great work. He's doing some really cool things, and he's putting together some products out there, man, that you're going to be shocked by. Really cool stuff. If you have kind of a concept or an idea in your head and you're thinking, hey, I wonder if I could do this, or I could have this made. You know what? Give Dave a shout. And maybe they can come up with something for you. But great job last week with those trophies. I've got a light that I honestly, Dave, I apologize. I got a light from him that was supposed to be up behind me right now, and I completely forgot to plug the thing in as I was getting ready for the show. So you guys will see that next week. But hey, best laid plans and all, right? But hey, let's get in here and let's hear from our brother up in Michigan. And he's telling us a little bit about what's going on up in Michigan with the Michigan Bearded Villains. This is Daryl. Well, my first victim, or shall I say interviewee, of the new 2026 year is no stranger to many of you for a lot of great reasons and really cool things that Michigan is up to now, the Michigan Bearded Villains. I'm talking about Shifty, or you might know him as Daryl, the captain of the Michigan Bearded Villains. Welcome to the program. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time. I know we've talked about this for a bit, and I feel weird because usually, once there's a new chapter, I'm able to talk with them, interview them about some things. But you guys have been rocking and rolling for a while now, been busy. You've had a name change. You've had all sorts of stuff going on, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you yet for a variety of reasons. And I took this big sabbatical. So now I wanted to start off 2026 by reaching out and getting a hold of you, man. So I guess let's just kind of start for those unfamiliar with the journey of your chapter, the chapter that you are the captain of, which is now Michigan Bearded Villains. Can you start back kind of at the beginning and what the origin story is of the chapter and to where it is now?
So the origin story, honestly, the origin story started when I was 6 months into BV, and I was like, there's no chapter on the west side of the state. Let's get one on the west side. I was a part of a different chapter at the time. I was part of that chapter for a year and a half. Got used to how BV was, got to know everybody, got to learn, I got really close with my captains, and, I learned from them on how things are supposed to be ran, and then how some things aren't supposed to be ran. And eventually, I ended up separating from them, going to another chapter. That chapter decided to, decide they didn't want to be in the Bearded Villains anymore. And I was left as a chapterless villain, and I wanted more. I wanted to start my own chapter, so I called, our friend Ed and said, "Hey, man, what do I have to do to start a chapter?" And he goes, "Well, you need 5 villains. You need artwork. You need everything to get approved from the board." So I went and, I had everything already. I just didn't have 5 villains. One of my best friends, who's also my co-captain, he was like, "Hey, I'm going where you're going." So he decided to, go on this journey with me. And we found 3 other guys and got our pictures taken. And here we are now. We're 2 years strong. We started out as the Norsemen. We're the Michigan Norsemen Bearded Villains. And we were mainly up north Michigan because the previous chapter didn't want to give us much to work with. So we worked with what we had, accomplished what we were, set out to accomplish in the beginning. And eventually we just kept getting bigger, kept doing. Our first year, we did probably 14 charities, and it was just nonstop going. There was no. Our motto is all gas, no brakes, and that's literally what we live by. We literally are all gas, no brakes. There's no stopping us. There's, we have our whole calendar set up until the end of December, which December is our last meet of the year, which is mandatory. We meet up. We talk about what we liked about this year, about our meeting or about our meets this year. If we want to add more charity, if we want to cut back and focus more on the brotherhood. And it's pretty much hand in hand. It's really turned out like, this is obviously my brainchild, my baby, and I started it, but it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the other guys in the chapter. So, I'm super, super grateful for everybody that's allowed me to lead them and help guide them in their journey into BV. I have more goals for the state of Michigan. Right now, we're the only chapter, but eventually I would like to see another East Side chapter, a Central chapter, maybe a Southern and a Northern chapter. Because, like I said, all I wanted was the West Side because I'm from the West Side of the state. So the opportunity's there. We just have to find guys that want to grow with us and want to, do cool things while we're growing, and that's pretty much all it is. We have just been nonstop going. I'm constantly coming up with new ideas, creating new things. The logo change too. We mentioned that. Yeah, we had the Viking head, and it was something that on the west side of the state there's a pretty big, I would say Scandinavian, Norwegian. I don't even know where I'm thinking. Like there's people with those backgrounds that live here now, and I'm actually part Norwegian. My great grandmother, she came over on a boat from Norway, so like I have Norwegian in my blood, the Scandinavian in my blood, and everything like that. So I thought about Vikings. I thought about, okay, let's Vikings were known for being big brutes, conquering, and everything like that, and it was just things just happened. People seen that we were doing big things, and I mean, there was other guys that wanted to be a part of it, and there was guys that thought it was too much. But everybody that's in the chapter, I always tell people, the guys, the current core of guys that I have in the chapter right now is they're the foundation. This is what we're building off of. We're building something bigger, something better. We're building better men. We're building a better future for us as villains, and I'm very thankful that they allow me to guide them in their journey. I'm just grateful for it. I'm grateful for the position that I'm in. For people to believe in me, and for when I say, okay, we're going to do this, and they people will question, say why, and then I'll tell them like, oh, it makes sense. We were in the captain's chat, and I told them like, look, I have a bigger picture for Michigan. I want Michigan to grow. I want Michigan to just be fantastic. I want there to be multiple chapters here and let us all work together as one and make the entire state of Michigan great. I love this state. I love, how far I've come in my BV journey. I'm going on year 4, and it's been great. I have a lot of guys that, just I've grown with, I've became really good friends with, and it's been a heck of a journey, and I'm excited for the next year, or so, to see what happens next.
Yeah. You guys seem to be doing things right, and it's been fun to watch from your southern border, kind of watching you guys grow. And I know that several of our guys have been up to attend different events, and you guys have been down to support us too from day one, and we really appreciate that here in Northern Indiana. And I think it's a really good idea, just from my personal experience. I think it's a great idea that you are already thinking about, what's next year going to be like at the end of the previous year, and you're not just kind of rolling over into the same old. You're actually taking a few seconds to think about what was this year, and then you look at that as a group and say, what do we want the next year to be? What did we like? What didn't we like? And it really sets you up for a lot of success in the coming year if you're able to just sit back and do that kind of thing and take the time to do that. So it's great to hear that your path is set that way, for sure.
Yeah, it's something I picked up, during my journey. We, instead of us guessing like, oh, what are we going to do this month? I'd rather have an agenda for us. And that way everybody knows that if, there's a meet coming up, they can, that way they know ahead of time, and they don't have to scramble like, oh man, I can't make it because I have family things or I have this going on. I never will ask anybody to choose the chapter over family time or anything like that. Family's super important. And I always tell people that, the chapter is the family that we chose. Every guy in my chapter, I know I can trust around my wife and my kids, and vice versa. So it's nice to have those guys, and to grow with those guys and continue to bring new guys on, and see what the camaraderie that we have and the brotherhood that we have within our group. We're really big on the brotherhood, the whole brotherhood aspect, and being family. Family's important. There's chapters that I've been a part of and I've seen that, don't allow their wives and kids to come to things, which, to each their own. That's your business. That's what you guys believe in. But ours is like, okay, I want people to know that, I love my wife, I love my kids, and that I want my wife and kids to also know my brothers and who I would, I'd go to war for them.
Yeah, it's
And
you learn that early on because there's a difference between it just being like a men's club that your spouse or your significant other tolerates, but when your significant other or your spouse is aware of and fully supports your efforts there, it doesn't matter if there may be some things that you do with the guys that they're not a part of, and they support that, but they also know that
yep,
there's going to be some things that they are fully welcome at and encouraged to be at and be a part of. And I think for those guys out there that don't allow for that, that don't accept and bring in their significant others into that part of their lives. It used to be way back in the day. I know, like my grandpa days and everything like that. It was the men's club. You went to the club, and that was your getaway from the family. It was your respite from the wife or whatever else, and no women allowed type of thing. And that was back in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, and now it's a nice thing to be able to include them in the thing that helps you grow as a man, and that's
yep.
what I think about BV.
100%. 100%. I always tell all the guys, you have to make sure your wife knows about this and she supports you about this. If there's been guys I've met along the journey that their wives hate that they're a part of this. And I always tell new guys, like, hey man, like, make sure you involve your wife so she knows what you're a part of. Otherwise she's going to think you're excluding her from things. And if you have a wife that you're excluding from these things, she's going to become mad. She's going to be really mad. She's not going to like it. She's going to try to pull you away from it. You always want to bring your wife in so she can support you in what you're doing. And I feel like that's a very, very important factor in my success in BV, is because my wife has been my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader. She's also a queen. She's been a queen for 6 years now. So it's been something that we've just been, she's been a part of my entire journey since day one. So I'm super appreciative of her and her continuing to have my back whenever I can't get a hold of my captain or anybody like that. I vent to her, or my co-captain. I vent to her and we're like, hey, hey, why don't you think about doing this way instead of that way? And there's, people have things misconstrued with me though. They think that I'm arrogant or I'm a jerk or whatever it may be. And it's not even that. I'm super passionate about BV and the brotherhood.
You are.
Yeah. I mean, I can be if I have to be, right?
No, just kidding.
But
hey,
super.
Sometimes you got to own it, right?
Yeah, and I will tell people that, like, I can be an ass sometimes. It's just that's what it is. At the end of the day, there's some days where I'm having a bad day, but at the same time, I also let guys know, like, I'm very passionate about this, so I may be coming off like that, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Like every guy in my chapter, I love every guy in my chapter. They all have special places in my heart. We've had battles, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of the guys in my group are former military. So, we have, we're really big on men's mental health in my chapter. So especially if I have a brother that's like, hey, I'm feeling down today, who can talk to me? I said, call me whenever you need to. My phone's always open. And the vice versa. It could be me, because I suffer from mental health issues also. So it's like, you're there for me, I'm there for you. I got your six all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it kind of reminds me, one of my favorite comedians, one of his comedy specials is titled "I'm Not for Everyone." I live that every day. I think as many of us do. But I don't want to get out of here without asking you kind of what's the plan of attack. What can you think about some things that are kind of on your horizon? I know you have some things coming up. So looking forward with your chapter.
Yeah, we have our 2-year meet, which is coming up. It's going to be June 20th. It's going to be here in Michigan, in Muskegon, Michigan, actually. You guys can see it on our Instagram page. All the details there. Everybody's welcome. It's family friendly. It's kid friendly. We're just looking to celebrate with everybody. We're going to be right on the beach. So, we can literally, it's a 5-minute walk from where we're holding our event at, to the beach. And it's just going to be a great time. And it's, come out, celebrate with us, celebrate the 2-year anniversary of our chapter. I honestly didn't expect it to last this long, and here we are going into year 2. So it's nice seeing the support that we get from other chapters, and finally, starting to get the recognition that we deserve because we've put in the work. We've really worked hard to get where we're at right now. And we have that coming up, and then what else we have the MS Walk coming up in May. We have the Suicide Prevention Walk it's finally in October this year because they've been holding it in September, but it's super hot when they have it in September. And then we have a couple brotherhood meets in between, like we're not doing charity because we chose this year was going to be building the foundation and growing together as a brotherhood. And that's what we've been focusing on a lot this year. And that's really important to me because I feel like the brotherhood aspect, a lot of chapters have forgot about the brotherhood aspect, and they've always thought about, oh, well, charity. And now we're focusing on being brothers, loving each other, loving each other's families, going out, going to arcades and whatever it may be. So, the big thing is the 2-year events coming up. That's honestly mine. I've been focusing on that for the last 2 months. So that to me is a huge part. We made it 2 years. 2 years, and there's a lot of doubters, a lot of haters, but here we are 2 years later, and we're going strong, and we're going to continue to grow and make the state of Michigan great again.
Yeah. There's not to steal a line from someone else, right?
Yeah,
making something great again. It's been really fun to watch, man. It really has, and I know all about the having the doubters and sitting over your shoulder waiting for you. You think they're just waiting for you to fail, and you just kind of brush it off and you just go about your business and go about your thing. But one thing I love to ask captains that have become relatively new in the last year or two, now that you look back on things, especially when you had a little bit of a BV journey before that, and then now moving forward. One thing I love to ask is what about in the role that you're in right now, what has surprised you most? I love putting it's a hard question to ask, really. It's a hard question to answer because you don't think about that because you're on your daily basis as your role as a captain. You just do things. You just do. You find something to do, and I'm just curious because honestly, sometimes it's the old stuff that kind of turns its head on you again.
Yeah, honestly, it was having to because I'm a villain, obviously, first and foremost, but I'm not just a villain anymore. Like I have to lead now, and I have to lead by example. So I feel like I had to really put my big boy pants on and learn fully how to lead and to show these guys like, look, I'm not going to ask you to do things that I wouldn't do myself, and to show them that I'm here, and I've been in your shoes before. There's been guys that have come to me that thought about quitting. We had a hopeful that he came to a meet, he was unsure, he messaged and said, hey, this isn't for me, and I messaged him back and said, hey man, like what's going on? And we talked, and he's still with us to this day, and I'm happy about it because I didn't want him to regret the things that we were doing, based off of a minor emotion. You let small things get to you. Sometimes they eat you up, and it'll make you question yourself and question what you're doing. So I brought him back in, but honestly, I feel like I just had to go from a level 10 to a level 5 and become more understanding. I think that was the hardest part in the beginning, because I wanted everybody to be just like me, like a robot. I wanted them to, I've never missed a meet in 4 years, and it's tough. But then I realized we're our own people. They're not that. They're themselves. They're not me. So I can't force somebody to have the same journey that I've had.
Right.
Now, do I try to guide people in the right direction? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But that's all I can do. My grandma used to say when I was younger, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. It's you can't. You can send guys in the right direction. It's up to them to either become great or for them to crumble. Mm-hmm. So it's been a great journey along the way. I'm excited going into year 2 is almost over. We're going to be going into year 3. So it's super exciting. I love the journey. I love the growth that, I'm having both, personally, and in BV. So it's just exciting to see what's going to happen within the next year, and us planning things out and just keeping the ball rolling. I always tell everybody, like, my ultimate goal by the end of because we got 9 guys. My ultimate goal is to have 15 by the end of this year. By the end of next year, to have 20, 25. And then that's when we can start talking about, because I got a couple East Siders, and I tell them, like, man, bring me some guys. We'll scout them in. We'll get them set up, and then 10 guys, you guys can go to the East Side, and I'll always be here to support you guys. And that's one of the biggest things, like, for me, is if I can continuously bring guys in and keep teaching them the ropes, and then I know that they're going to do things the right way, I don't have a problem with helping them out, get started.
Yeah.
I'll create their logo for the first time if they want. It doesn't matter to me. If they want the help, I'm here to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
I just feel like that's important. Yeah, 100%. Like I love the camaraderie of this brotherhood. And it's just been a huge part for me. And like I said, we support you guys. The North region is huge for me because I was one of the big guys. I was like, I was constantly like, yo, we need a North meet. We need a North meet. Let's, we got West Coast, we got East Coast, we got down South. We need a North meet. And, here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch this whole region kind of explode as time goes on, for sure.
Yeah. And it's going to be great to see. It's going to be great to see all the chapters coming together and then, breaking bread together and just establishing greatness.
Yeah. Well, man, I appreciate the hell out of you coming on. I know it took me way too long to get you on here. I'm super excited about the future of what you guys are doing, and just to be able to watch you guys grow and succeed. And we're going to be there to support you along the way. And man, just wish you all the best. Can't wait to see you.
Appreciate that.
2 years is going to come up real quick here soon, and we'll be there to celebrate with you, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely.
Like I'm excited about this. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries, man. It's my pleasure, man. I will talk to you later. Thanks again. And
absolutely.
Have a great night, man. Thanks.
You too, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. That was Daryl up in Michigan Bearded Villains. Thanks for taking some time out and telling us all about what's going on up there. And yeah, 2 years, man. 2 years. Celebrating 2 years. That's no small feat. It's no small feat, especially in this climate right now. And so congrats up there in Michigan. Big state. And they've got some growth, man. They've got some growth coming. So real quick, I want to play this here little jingle from Bigfoot. Whether you're navigating the rugged terrain of the great outdoors or conquering the concrete jungle of the urban landscape, Bigfoot Beard Company has you covered. Bigfoot products are made with natural ingredients designed to help maintain a healthy, rich beard without leaving it feeling greasy and heavy. From classic cologne-inspired fragrances to fruity notes and earthy tones, there's sure to be a scent for every occasion. With worldwide shipping available, why not take an opportunity to walk on the wild side? Head over to Bigfoot Beard Company today. That's www.bigfootbeardco.com. Again, that's www.bigfootbeardco.com. All right. Thank you, Bigfoot, for once again staying alive with us here on the program. And hello, a big shout out to Mars just joined in. Mars joined in actually earlier today when I was doing the testing on this little program here. And so good to see you back. I don't know how long you've been here, but I just noticed that you're back in there. So Mars, good to see you here, buddy. But hey, so you've kind of seen now we're doing little shorter form videos or shorter form interviews, and moving forward, the plan of attack for this show here is I want to be able to do one interview similar to that, and I also want to be able to have a couple of shout outs for some cool things that different chapters are doing, like I've done in the past. But also, when we have a brother that's doing something really fun, really cool, something interesting, maybe personal to their lives, that they're involved in or that they're doing, I'd like to give them a shout out, have them maybe on as an interview guest to do a short interview with them as well. So I'm saying that because, once again, I'm just reaching out and asking all of you, the listeners, to give me a shout and tell me, if you've got stuff going on, or if you have a brother of yours, or even if you just come across one of our brothers on IG and you see that they're doing something, they're involved in something that's really cool. Let me know about it, because chances are I may or may not. Well, I may not know about it. The way the algorithms work on all the social media platforms anymore, I think we lose more people than we've gained. We lose people that we want to stay in touch with all the time, and for some reason it thinks just because you don't chat with them on a daily basis that you no longer care about them, and then you no longer start seeing their things. So I hate that about the algorithms that happen. So for that very reason, don't just assume, please, I'm begging of you, don't just assume that because you are seeing something cool that's going on with the chapter or with another person or a brother, don't just assume that everybody is seeing that, okay? Make sure you share it. Share the story. Share the news about what they're doing. And if you think about it, please toss it to me. Send it to me. Let me know, hey, did you just out of curiosity, did you know what these guys are doing or what this brother's doing? I would love to hear that. I would love to be able to tell you, thank you for sharing. Yes, I did I actually did know about that, but thank you for sharing with me, because that's how we find out about things. That's the purpose of this show, really. I didn't do this so that I have something to do once a week of an evening. It's fun. It's a lot of fun for me. But at the same time, the whole purpose behind this is to share what our brothers are doing around the world, right? This is a global outreach. We've got brothers from all sorts of different countries out there doing some amazing things. And I don't even remember how many countries have been represented on this show. So it's a lot of fun for me because I get to talk to them and I get to learn about what's going on. And one of the funniest things about it is, not really funny, but funny strange, is that we get to hear about maybe some of the struggles, the difficulties, the hurdles that some of our brothers in other countries have to jump through just in order to have an event, in order to give to charity. It's really crazy to hear some of these stories from our chapter brothers that are in different countries, that we have to do this, and this, only just because we want to be able to donate, or just because we want to go and help this organization out with labor. We have to jump through all these hurdles. And we're very fortunate that we don't have a lot of that here in the States. There are some areas that we do, but we're very fortunate. So get out there, share the information, pass it on to me, and let me know, because I would love to be able to share it with everybody else. What's going on, and speak to some of our brothers about that stuff. But this is a little bit of a shorter show. I've said before, I don't want to drag shows on just endlessly for no reason. It's a Saturday night. You guys that are here with me live have taken a little bit of time out on your Saturday night. I don't want to take up your whole Saturday night. I know you could always just turn off the device or hang up or leave the meeting or whatever we do on these things if you really wanted to anyway. And some of you probably already have, but I'll let you get back to your night, man. I appreciate everybody coming in for this episode 250. Yes, I rebadged this as 250 as well, because we really didn't have any content per se for the other one that was labeled as 250. But this one was a pretty good episode, I think. And so, man, hey, that's going to wrap up episode 250 of The Heart of a Villain. I want to challenge you to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. The most important words I say every week, guys, I still say them, still believe it true. It's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. Until next week, we're going to be back on Friday night next week for The Heart of a Villain for episode 251. Until that time, take care, stay safe.